Peace. I pray that all is well, all is truly well over here with me. This video is going to be a little bit different. I've been talking a lot about self-improvement, self-help. And now that I think about it, it does fall somewhat in the same category as those things. It pertains to reading and applying those things that you read in your life. And I think what I want to title this is something along the lines of doggy ear your books, because I know that there's a big stigma. A lot of people, they say, you're not supposed to doggy ear the books and everything like that. Don't doggy ear the pages. But this is gonna be called doggy ear the pages because I find it very useful, and I find it that I do it in all of my books. In every book that I read, at some point I'm gonna doggy ear the page, except for my religious texts. I don't doggy ear the pages with that. I do little sticky notes. But anyways, that's besides the point. I have this book here, Brian Tracy, The Psychology of Selling. And you see, I kind of got a bookmark. I just use the regular, like a regular, what's it called, note card. And on the note cards I use in the books I write down quotes from the book or whatever. So, for example, like I just showed you, don't only do 1.5 hours of work each day. Take advantage of the day, right? So, something that this book was talking about was how salesmen, they go in and they sit around and they do this and they do that, and they don't really do too much throughout the day. So it was saying optimize your day and don't just sit around. And so in the job that I'm at right now, I do car sales, and it is a lot of just sitting around. They haven't put me really on the program where you reach out to anybody and get leads. I've been producing my own leads through Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that, but it's a lot of sitting around. It's a lot of downtime. So that inspired me to maximize my day. So like right now, on my lunch break, I used to just come back and just do whatever. But now on my lunch breaks, I'm recording these videos, and I'm spending my day as more productive than I was when I first started, when I was in this little dip. So yeah, I write on each side, and I got more on my book Atomic Habits, but I think I left that upstairs, so that's in another room. But for example, where I doggy ear it, I got a whole bunch of highlighting. So it's got, I can't even get this right. So it's got all of that stuff where I doggy ear it. And the reason why I'm saying doggy ear your books is because when you doggy ear your book, here's something else. When you doggy ear your book, what it does is you're going to go back and look at those pages, or you should, right? When you're reading a book that's about self-help, that's about self-improvement, that has some kind of lesson in it that is necessary to apply, doggy ear the book. Do it, because it'll keep the pages. And if you read, as you're reading the book, and you come across something that you find useful, you find helpful to your life, you want to doggy ear that page and highlight or underline what it is that you found helpful. And then your future self will thank you. I can't even explain or express how many times I've read a book, and then months down the line, I'll be in some kind of space mentally. I'll need a little bit of motivation. I need a little bit of push. I'm kind of maybe at a stagnant point, and I go back into this book that I've read. I flip it open to one of these pages I've doggy-eared, and I read a line that I've highlighted or underlined, and it'll be like the exact thing I needed to read. It'll have like the exact thing that I needed to recall, to go back to. So when you do that, when you save these pages, when you doggy ear these pages and you highlight what's on the page, you're creating something for yourself in the future to where you may return to this page. You're gonna open that book up again sometime if you haven't finished it, or even if you have finished it. Like for example, what do I got back here? My How to Win Friends and Influence People. Right, I finished this book cover to cover. I couldn't get enough of this book. Right, I don't even need this. And that's something. Oh, see, this it happened just now. It happened just now. Wow. Because on this I have a phrase. I got a phrase on the front of this card, which is my bookmark for this book. It just happened just now. The phrase on the front is something I'm gonna make a video out of. I can't show y'all right now. It's something I'm gonna make a video out of. But I don't know if you can see how much I've dog-eared this book. Yeah. And I just go up to it. I got this page doggy-eared, right? And it goes to this page. Hopefully y'all can hear me well. I know I got the mic and I'm fondling all this stuff as well. And it's this page on the left right here. Buddha said. It says, Buddha said, hatred is never ended by hatred, but by love. Listen first. Try to build bridges of understanding. Don't build higher barriers of misunderstanding. Anyone who takes the time to disagree with you is interested in the same thing you are. So just that right there is something where it's like I could be going through, and this is it's funny because the wild thing is it is happening right now as I'm making this video. This video is proof that what I'm talking about works, because this very part, try to build bridges of understanding. Don't build higher barriers of misunderstanding. I needed to hear that. It's been some communication misunderstanding that I've been experiencing recently. And so that right there, this is the exact reason why you do this, right? Try to build bridges of understanding. Don't build higher barriers of misunderstanding. So then you take that, you say, and you sit back with it, and you think about the situation that you're in. When I first read that line while reading through this book, I said, wow, I like that line. I'm going to underline it. And I doggy-eared the page. And then now, how many months? It's been a few months since I've read this book. Excuse me. It's been a few months since I've read this book. And I just go back to make this video. And what do I see? This is why I say doggy ear. Oh my goodness. Can't get that back. This is why I say doggy ear your books, so you can come back to them. And when you come back to them, it will give you the message you needed. And you can do the same thing with your religious texts, with the Bible, with the Quran, with the Bhagavad Gita, with the Holy Vedas, the Holy Avesta, the Dhammapada. Do it with your holy books if you want to. I'm just thinking like, man, that just happened right on top of this that I'm talking about, right? And that proves itself, that shows itself approved, man, because it's funny that this is the evidence that this works. It's funny that this is the evidence that this is true. I didn't plan or stage any of that. That was a true, genuine reaction. That what I'm speaking about is true in essence. It's true because you plant the seed for your future self. Your choices, your decisions, your actions, your thoughts plant the seed for your future self. So when you go through and you read a book and then you say, man, I really like how this sounds, you underline it or you highlight it, just doggy ear that thing. Or even just highlighting and underlining it. Because I guess you can do a quick flip through the pages and see, the highlights will stick out and stuff. But man, I say dog eat a page. Dog eat a page. Especially if you're reading a book that has chapters in it that talk about action, or they have steps. First you do this, second you do that. Like for example, um, I showed you already in the Psychology of Selling, but it has like action steps. There's places in it that says at the end of each chapter it says actions and steps and things like that. So just when you read your book, just doggy ear your book. Doggy ear the book, man. It's more worth it for your ability to use the lessons, your ability to return back to it, and pick up again what it is that the lessons are saying, and apply those lessons. And that's going to be another thing, because it's one thing to have a good memory, right? That's being smart. It's one thing to know and understand, right? That's being intelligent. And there's another thing to apply and teach, and that's being wise. And so when you take these lessons and you apply them in your life, right? You're anointed with the oil of wisdom, right? Application anoints with the oil of wisdom. And so you can go back to these pages. You can doggy ear the book and go back to these pages. Go back to your highlights. Go back to the lessons that the book has. Learn to apply these certain things. And you start to grow, and you start to, as you go through your everyday life, you think of the lesson, you remember the lesson, you apply the lesson, and now you've gained some kind of wisdom in that respect. So I hope this video, this is funny for me. I hope this video has served for landline going off. Man, one time. I hope this video is serving some kind of purpose for you all, and I appreciate you all coming back to another video. Peace and love.